And we're live. Hello, hello, hello. It is 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Tuesdays. On Tuesday, I should say. It's only one Tuesday right now. Which means it is time for MEACH'S Musings here on Jeff Meacham's YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Meacham. Give people a few minutes to get here. It's just now 4 o'clock here for the West Coasters, so give it a minute. Hello, Cindy. Thank you for moderating for me. I greatly appreciate it. Cheers to that. See who else is going to pop in here. No way to know who's here until they say hi. So K-Fake Candy Ass is here, so that means there's a few people here. I recruit. Oh, you're in Canada. I forgot you're in Canada. That's right. Big Jeff's here. What's up, Big Jeff? Or Certified G. I guess we're going with Certified G again. It is raining where Braden is, so God bless you for that. Caitlin's here. Hello, Caitlin. CC Drink. Blu-ray Dude is here. People are filing in slow but sure. Like I said on Twitter, and I told a few people this in private, and actually a couple people, I mean, really in private. I'll disclose later. It's going to be kind of a heavy show, so keep that in mind as you log in here. Like I said a couple weeks ago when I did the first MEACH'S Musings, I was going to be wrestling related. So if you're coming in here looking for, I know I'm wearing a wrestling, I've got wrestling behind me, except for the calendar, hello. A wrestling t-shirt, wrestling related hat, but if you're looking for wrestling talk, it's not going to be a whole lot of it today. So I'll say that now. Keep that in mind. Wish I could bring somebody in like on Instagram, bring somebody in to do it with me. That'd be awesome. Stuff everywhere. You guys are hearing me okay? With the, I have a fan in front of me. It's very, very hot here in Southern California. Not hot by, like summer standards, but, let's see how hot it is right now. Since we're waiting for people to show up. Thanks, Sen. Appreciate it. Currently, in Canyon Country, it is, tell me, maybe? No? 78 degrees. Well, there you go. Okay, fake candy. Yeah, 78 degrees back east. So, you guys got it good as of this moment. It's warm out. I put it this way: it was so warm that my it's 89, and see, it's getting hotter as you move west. See? Feels like 100. See, I noticed that when it gets hotter in the colder parts of the world, that it seems much hotter than it actually is. Great story to go with that, Cindy. Just give me a second here to get the weather up here. It's 85 right now, by the way. 85 degrees right now. Over 90 at Western PA. Wow, that actually surprises me that it's that hot back there. But again, we're getting into the summer months. It's end of May. June starts Friday, right? June starts this Friday. Yeah. So it's 85 here. Had the fan on today. Had the air on all day. Pay-per-view on Father's Day. I don't know. I don't know. But WWE tends to, at least they have in the distant past when I was a kid, and more recently also, they've tended to had for example, the very first In Your House show was a Mother's Day show. So take that for what it's worth. Anyway, so I think they just keep it on the major holiday, the major family holidays to keep us, the family feeling, Mother's Day and Father's Day, and they have the Great American Bash for the Independence Day folks, and it was not Independence Day usually as far as the WWE is concerned, but WCW was. It was 85. I had my brother pick up my son because walking to school, not a good idea today. Well, this is also true. I don't know about that, kayfabe. I think a lot more of us have kids than we are allowed to admit, unfortunately, and it's just the way that is. My Santa suit's back there. That's ugly. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. All right. So, got 11 of you here, or at least 11 people that have watched so far. I'm gonna go into what the subject of the show was: confessions of whatever the hell I said the title of the show was. You guys have put up with me for a while when it comes to this channel. and not having shows on a lot. And quite frankly, Aaron's put up with me a lot too, with not being on the No DQ shows over the last year. Pretty much since I came back after my hiatus after WrestleMania last year, when I was so upset with the Undertaker leaving, I decided to leave. And I've been back since then. I came back, in the summer sometime, probably right around now, if I remember right. And you guys have been really cool. You've been, sticking with me with the shows coming up when they come up, and tried very hard to keep a schedule the last few weeks, with Tuesdays being MEACH'S Musings now, of course, and Thursdays being the day that we do talk wrestling here on this channel. And the truth of the matter is, I've told Aaron a lot of times that I haven't done the shows because I've been sick, or because Dylan's been sick, or because I had something else come up, or because something else just got in the way of doing the shows. And that is true. Something did indeed get in the way of doing the shows for the most part when I wasn't there. That's why you didn't see me on the No DQ review a lot the last few months, or the other shows. It's because I wasn't mentally able to do a show. And I didn't know how to tell Aaron that. I didn't know how to tell you guys that. A couple of you know. A couple of you in this room know, actually. That my state of mind has not been the healthiest. And been doing therapy now for a while, and trying to work through the various stages of what I've been going through and what I've been dealing with. And truth is, it's hard. It's life is hard. People say life is hard. Life is very hard. Life sucks sometimes, and you kind of go through it as best you can. And I know I was supposed to do talk wrestling on Friday. I did MEACH'S Musings Thursday, live from Undecided Apparel, and I thank them for the office space, if you will. I was going to do it today down there, but I really thought I should do this show in the studio here, my room, and really just come clean. And the truth of the matter is, I feel bad. I apologize for, smokescreening you guys over the last year, and smokescreening Aaron, because I feel terrible. But I'm dealing with a lot of stuff up here that doesn't constitute or compute with being the West Coast professor and doing the show and being happy-go-lucky guy, and it wasn't going to work for me to be the Jeff Meacham that you guys expect and have expected for the last 15 years, more than that now. And hi Marshall. And that Jeff wasn't going to be available to be on the shows in the state of mind I was in. And Friday, at the time I was supposed to be on live for Talk Wrestling, which would have been 7 Eastern on Friday, I was on a train. I was on a train on my way to my best friend's place in the South Bay here in Southern California, Long Beach. And it was just time to go. It was time. I had a very trying morning with medical stuff. I had a physical, which, when you're 275 pounds and 35 years old, physicals suck. They just do. Got told this cough and cold I'm dealing with is just a simple, infection, and just antibiotics will kill it. It's like, this has been killing me for 2 weeks, and you're honestly telling me that I have to take antibiotics for 5 days and I'll be okay. Well, that just makes so much sense. I suffered for no reason because I should have gone to the doctor sooner. And it was my own personal, damn it, Jeff. So that was the first straw on Friday. And then we had issues here with the Xbox not working, and my poor brother, God bless him, trying to watch over the boy when we're trying to get things done and get ready to go. And there was issues with the Xbox, so I had to trying to rush home. Couldn't make it home in time to help. And then I get on the phone and tell people, hey, here's the deal, here's what's going on, and I get chastised for my choices, chastised for my decisions. And I sat in this very chair with this very desk in front of me, and my hands just started going like this on the arm of the chair, and I literally almost cracked. I cracked to the point where there's definite fractures in the surface of my brain, I guess is the best way to put it. Analogy, you know, people that are in the mental health field can help me with that later in private conversations. But I needed to be out of here. I could not be in this space and stay mentally aware and healthy and productive. So I made a phone call, and off I went to my friend's house. Well, I call her my sister. She's my best friend in the world. And off I went. So that's what there's no Talk Wrestling Friday. My friend used to, but she is she's moved her and her family away from that, and cheers for that. Pardon me. Water. Good for the soul, too, as is confession. So that's why I have not done shows so sporadically. Why the shows have been so sporadic, because I have not had the mental capacity to sit in this chair and spill my guts about something that has to do with wrestling or has to do with anything sports entertainment when I couldn't spill my own guts about my own personal stuff. And through the help of a lot of people, including two people in this room who I will not out as such, because I'm not going to throw them under that bus publicly, but they know who they are. I'm doing better. I'm doing better now than I was even last week. I was able to go to a friend's house, my best friend's house. I watched an amazing show called Brockmire. If you're familiar with Hank Azaria's work or Amanda Pete's work, watch this show. It's on IFC. It's on the IFC channel. It is an amazing show. You will laugh. You will literally laugh so hard you pee your pants. I literally had to get up from the couch and go into the bathroom and avoid peeing my pants. I was laughing. I have not laughed that hard at anything, I dare say years, but it's definitely been months that I've laughed that hard. But yeah, Brockmire. Brock, like Brock Lesnar, M-I-R-E. Brockmire. One word. If you appreciate the humor of things like Family Guy and South Park and things like that, yes, the IFC channel, IFC, one phrase, independent, something, whatever it is, IFC. If you appreciate humor like Seth MacFarlane and guys like that, you will love the out of this show. It's so funny. It almost seems too real to be true, and it's not true, obviously, but it's got that hard dose of reality for those of us that think they have it bad. We don't have it bad, kids. Jim Brockmire has it pretty bad, and you'll see what I mean when you watch Brockmire. They're in I think it's like the 6th episode of season 2. It's this Wednesday on IFC. It's on Wednesday nights. I believe it's at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. East or Pacific. I'll check. I'll take a look and let you guys know on social media tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, so Brockmire has helped me out of my own personal mired mental state. So check that out. Thank you all for sitting here and going through. I know a lot of you guys didn't comment, and I appreciate that. You guys let me just get through that, and I greatly appreciate that. I feel that I should not end the show on that note, because it's only been 15 minutes since I went on the air. So let me ask you guys this. Since it is Memorial Day week, and of course we all associate Memorial Day in professional wrestling with the NWO. I am a Talk Wrestling. It's not Talk Wrestling in the show, but I'm a Talk Wrestling. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. What is your what's the memory that sticks out most in your head from the initial NWO storyline? Of course, May 27, 96, which ended up being Eric Bischoff's birthday, as it turns out. We didn't know that. But what's your biggest standout memory of the NWO? Is it Scott Hall walking out there on Nitro? Is it Hogan turning? Is it something that you don't normally hear about when you say big NWO moment? What do you guys remember? What's your guys' biggest moment for the NWO? Of course, the Bash at the Beach forming, Hogan turning. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Jeff. By the way, you can catch Big Jeff, Certified G, every night, every Tuesday night, right after SmackDown Live, after No DQ Live, with Virtue's Rage on Facebook Live, right, Big Jeff? You can check him out there. Cindy, I believe, does her own Facebook Live shows as well, or maybe she's on YouTube. Cindy, plug your shows, please, Cindy. I forget where Cindy is, and I apologize for that, Cindy. I know you do your updates, your Instagram updates, and it's YouTube. Find Cindy on YouTube. She has a YouTube page. Link her off there. There you go. I like that, Marshall. Kevin Nash walking in. Kevin Nash walking in and, using the wrong word, not adjective. It's a verb. Present tense, play. That's okay. Oh, there you go. When Scott Steiner turned, there you go. That's a good one. My uncle believed they invaded WCW. That's what you're supposed to feel. That was the whole point. Whole point to watch her. Wow. See, that's when you know. When your mom calls and says Scott Hall's on Nitro, that's when you go, oh my God. Your mom's into it. There you go. Cindy does independent wrestling hype videos and recap videos. We've got amazing stuff in NorCal, and she's doing some stuff in Canada right now that's pretty awesome. But up in NorCal, they got some really good wrestling. I didn't realize how much there was up there. I knew All Pro Wrestling was up there, but they got a lot of great stuff up in NorCal. So, check out Cindy's videos. It's really cool to see that type of stuff. Now, not the finger poke, but you know what? If that's what you remember, first thing off the top of your head, kayfabe, then there it is. I asked the defining memory, and the NWO reforming after the finger poke of doom should have been one of the greatest moments in the history of the business, in the history of WCW, history of NWO. It ended up falling flat because of the injuries. I actually brought this up, I think it was on this day. Let me check now and see that, because I'm pretty sure it was on this day, either last year or the year before last. Yeah, Rey Mysterio and Matrero. That was ugly. That was very, very disturbing to watch, but it was NWO moments. So, there you go. Again, people talking about Hogan's turn is the biggest moment. Here we go. On this day last year, discussion topic: if the NWO Elite that reformed in 1999 had remained elite and eliminated the black and white, and if they would have avoided all the injuries, it would have been more dominant and perhaps made a difference for WCW. That was my discussion topic 1 year ago today, actually tonight, that I brought that up, and I still stand by that. If the NWO Elite remained elite and just took out the black and white out of the equation, let them do their own thing, which they ended up doing their own thing anyway, which is kind of lame, I think NWO Elite would have been so much better. Let's see. Disney World. Yeah, I like that too at Disney World when they had the NWO letters draped over the WCW, the big silver WCW letters at Disney World. I've been in that spot at Disney World where they had the Nitro stuff set up. I was there years later. Actually, no, I was there a year later. I've also been there 10 years ago. I went there. NWO shirts are still hot, man. The Wolfpack shirts are still hot. I actually have a Wolfpack shirt now. It's reverse. I have the wolf head on the front and NWO logo on the back, but I wear it all the time. I also wear this. I miss wearing this on No DQ shows. But you can check Greg Cherry out at the Wrestling Trivia Champion each and every week. They're on episode, I think it was 7. They had a contenders match. Spence has a Wolfpack shirt. They do have the Wolfpack shirt. But you can also get the official Wolfpack shirt with just the red logo on WWEshop.com now. So that's the official one you can buy. So take that for what it's worth. My defining memory of the NWO... first thing I think of when I think of the NWO is the War Games. The War Games storyline going into 1996 Fall Brawl because of Sting and because of the Horsemen deferring to Sting and Lex, and the team coming together of Sting and Lex and Flair and Arn, and it was going to be this huge mega team going against the evil NWO. You had Hogan, Hall, Nash, and a mystery partner, and we didn't know who it was going to be. And then the unthinkable. We thought that Sting, the great Sting, had turned and jumped his best friend in a parking lot in the rain out of a limousine. It was an amazing moment, and it led to WWE's most profitable pay-per-view at that time, of course, Starrcade Hogan versus Sting. WWE Shop is getting pricey. I didn't get this at WWE Shop. I'll tell you that right now. And they are expensive. I don't buy stuff on there unless they have a huge sale, which they do quite often, which is probably why they do it quite often, because they're so expensive. Wolfpack music was catchy. The music, not the lyrics. The lyrics are just hokey and ridiculous. But the music was very, very catchy. The actual musical notes, not melody, because melody is lyrics also. There you go. That was my NWO discussion. It took 5 minutes because I didn't have that planned. Just kind of went into it. Kevin Nash is my favorite wrestler in WWE, and who is your favorite NWO member? There we go. I'll ask that. I'll get it different. Who is your favorite member of the NWO? Watcher is obviously Kevin Nash. Who is your favorite member of the NWO throughout their history, be it in WWE, WCW, or even TNA when they were the band? Thoughts on Rodman when he's WCW? Oh, great personality, fit with the NWO very well. Horrible wrestler, and the second time he was falling asleep. I think that was pretty hokey. That was pretty bad. But great buzz for WCW. Great crowd draw for WCW, and of course the NWO. So mainstream publicity was beautiful at that time for Rodman coming in, and Karl Malone, and Jay Leno, and everything like that. It was very, very hot. Let's see: Eric Bischoff, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. Hall and Nash up there. Bischoff mentioned. Nash was a couple times. Sean Waltman. I appreciate that comment. Sean Waltman was mentioned. Very cool. Scott Hall. Hollywood. You mentioned that Hollywood being is a cliche, and maybe that's the case. But Hollywood Hogan is, like Watcher said, it's the greatest of all time as far as characters and personality, things like that. So it's easy to say I hated him at that time, but it's also very easy to say you liked him at that time because he made his character cool again. He was no longer red and yellow, tearing the shirt, white meat baby face. There was a dark side to him. There was that part of him that nobody really knew about outside of the politics of the business, but fans didn't realize how truly dark he could go. And when Hulk went dark, he went super, super dark. He became the heel that incited garbage being thrown. I never had seen that myself in wrestling, and I had been a fan for almost 6 years at that. Almost 6 years at that point. I'd never seen people actually throw trash into the ring at a wrestler, let alone a group of wrestlers. It was amazing. The kind of hatred they incited, the kind of hatred that they brought out of the crowd, and again, great heat, key to the success of the faction. Thank you, kayfabe. Eric Bischoff was key in that too. People already didn't like Eric Bischoff, and they really found their reason to like Eric through the NWO because he was a swarmy, just slimy guy. He wasn't. There was no redeeming qualities about him when he was the announcer and when he was the leader of the NWO, because he just pretty boy, and he made money through somebody else. He made somebody else's money. He spent somebody else's money. Aaron brings up a good point. Aaron riffed with the quote of the week. There it is. Aaron's got the quote of the week. Eric Bischoff was a better character than he was a guy running the company. Boom. Quote of the week. Aaron riffed. I salute you, sir. Thanks for coming in, Aaron. And yeah, him and Hogan had such a great chemistry, Bischoff and Hogan, because Bischoff realized where the proof was in the pudding. Hogan made Bischoff and Turner and WCW money that nobody else in WCW did. So there you go. But he had great hair. We talk about kayfabe. We talk about that. He had great hair, Ken doll hair. There you go. And the hair match versus Flair. Yes, my goodness, that was. Eric Bischoff joined Evolution. Now, why would Eric Bischoff join Evolution? Why would that happen? Evolution, you had Ric Flair, Triple H, past, present, and then the future. Kayfabe Candy Ass does have better hair than Eric Bischoff. If you look at Kayfabe Candy Ass hair right now, if you see him out there, and then you have Eric Bischoff's hair right now, Kayfabe's got the better hair. To be fair, Eric's hair apparently was silver in his... If you go back and watch the old AWA footage of Eric Bischoff prior to being WCW's announcer, third string announcer, by the way, he's got silver streaks. He's got silver hair. because he was silver-haired in his 20s. I lost my hair in the 20s. My 20s, Eric Bischoff, his hair turned silver. I envy Eric Bischoff in that respect to a certain extent. But, yeah, so he looks very distinguished now with the silver hair. He looked like a skunk when they shaved it on Nitro in '98. Thank you for bringing that up, Aaron. But it's Eric Bischoff was probably the whitest heel in the group besides Hogan, of course. Hogan himself said this on WWE. Hall and Nash were cool. They were easy to cheer because they were from the WWF and they were the cool guys on the block. But people already wanted a reason to hate Hogan, and they found it, and they latched onto it with a vice grip, and they jeered him incessantly and threw trash in the ring, and all women were spitting on him, and it just, being a Hulkamaniac like I've always been, it was very difficult for me as a teenager to go, wow, they really hate this guy. But, I also teenagers go, well, yeah, he's too cool. That's why. I think NWO brought out the best in Sting. He reinvented himself like Hogan did. I'm talking when it was, yes. Sting turning into that Crow character, that dark, black and white, mysterious character, definitely helped Sting turn the corner and become iconic. And people call him the icon. I think he's the icon in that respect. He became iconic. Sting was already the biggest superstar as far as the most popular superstar in WCW, but turning into this dark, mysterious persona really shaped his future, and he still wears those colors to this day. He throws some red in there every now and again, throws some color in, but primarily it's a black and white NWO Crow Sting. And yes, they immediately, although kayfabe candy asks, according to Bischoff and Hogan on different documentaries on that, Sting himself, in that he showed up not ready in game shape mentally or even physically to a certain extent, ready for the night as big as it was. Sting didn't keep himself in ring shape, in game shape, and there you go. So that's what happened there. He was very 80s before that turn in 1996. He was still the 80s character. He had the bright blonde hair with the crew crop, that whatever the hell the army haircut, whatever it's called. And you're old when you can remember how great wrestling was in 2002 compared to that. Yes, I agree with that, Marshall. Wrestling was really good in 2002. Wrestling, even in NWO, was starting to peter out in WWE in 2002. It was still really good stuff on Raw and SmackDown both. Just an amazing time to be a wrestling fan in 2002. TNA was in infancy, and they were doing wonderful things, and WWE was in the Ruthless Aggression era. They had good writing on both shows. Quality stuff all around in wrestling. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. It's been almost a half hour. I got to get ready to watch SmackDown at 5 o'clock. Don't forget, tonight, immediately following SmackDown on the No DQ channel at Aaron Riff No DQ. You can find No DQ live with Aaron. They'll probably have some call-ins. Maybe I'll call in. We'll see how SmackDown is. I should have called in for Raw last night, but I was just so tired of dealing with stuff. Plus, again, not mentally in there. Thursday, and after No DQ Live on Facebook Live, you'll see Virtue's Rage with Certified G, of course. And don't forget, Thursday,